Well, hello friends. Today we're going to continue working on the DevTools, and we're going to do having two files open at the same time. So I would like to be able to have like a top editor and a bottom editor. And I'll show you where the Hack Studio is at the moment. So right now we can only have this one editor here, and we can switch which file is open, but we can't have more than one editor at a time. And I would like to just split it in the middle because I think that would be super useful. And then it should be split so that the top and the bottom editor can be like resized by dragging the splitting bar in the middle. We're gonna have to do some architectural stuff to make this happen. So I'm not really sure how we're gonna do it, but I guess we'll just get started. So first thing we'll do is just get the UI sort of into place, because then we can grow the rest around the UI like a fungus. So let's see, text editor construct is here. So this is where we construct the text editor. So right now we have a text editor, which is global, but it's really only used in this one file, seems like, which is a good thing. But we're going to want to have a concept of like a current text editor, because there's not going to be a single text editor anymore. So for now, let's just say that we have a set of text editors. Maybe we can put them into a vector. Say non-null ref putter vector to text editor. Let's say text editors. Oh, we can just have it be like that, actually. Yeah. And then we'll get rid of that. And then we will say, oh, actually we have main editor as our accessor. So for this one, maybe we should, oh, it is accessed outside, but through the helper. Okay, so we'll rename that to current text editor, or current editor is fine. Do we get all of those? Yeah. And then current editor is going to have return a pointer that we will manage here. So current text editor, current editor. And this will be static, so local in this file only. Okay, and we'll assert that we have a current editor, and then we'll return it. Okay. And then if we want to create a new editor, we'll just say add editor. And text editor construct. And oh, and we need to give him a parent. So we'll do that. Okay, and if text editor size is 1, then or actually, it should always become the new editor. So s current editor is text editor's last. And that's a pointer, so we have to do, wait, no, it's not a pointer? Oh, crap. Text editor's dot last. Right. And then here we can just say add editor, and we pass in the parent inner splitter. Oh, and we want to make sure that we create them with multi-line mode. Otherwise, they're going to be single-line editors, and it's not what we want here. So we add an editor, and actually all the editors should be configured in the same way, so we'll just put this up here as well. So actually, this would probably be easier to do this way. Editor, like that. All right, cool. Maybe we'll call it add new. Okay. And what happens, or no, let's clean up all the code that uses get gtext editor. So do just call current editor dot. And oh, these are tricky. So in the toolbar, we currently just grab the cut, copy, paste, undo, and redo actions from the gtext editor. But that's not going to work anymore because we might be swapping around which editor is active. So we're going to have to make proxy actions here. So actually, maybe we can do gcommon actions create, make cut action. And then current editor dot cut action dot activate. And what do I think about this? It'd be nice if there was a helper for this, so let's make a helper for it. Make proxy action. And I'll just say return. Create, and then we want to like take all of the stuff from the target action. So like we'll create it with the target action dot name. What's it called? Don't targets have names? I mean actions. I forget how these work. Text. It has a text. Okay, my bad. Target action text. And what else is there? Bitmap, shortcut, and a bitmap. Okay, so target action icon, target action. Oh, and the callback we want to do ourselves. So here we do let's see. So now we're like kind of cloning the target action, but we are going to, in the callback, we're just going to say target action activate. And we need to capture this not by reference, but need to make a proper capture. So let's say no putter target action. We can do something like this, like that, and then we can say target activate. Type is const. I don't want you to be const. Why are you const? Activate. Okay, I keep hitting my head on this. Why are these const? Why can't I? I don't want it to be const. Okay, I'm just gonna be sneaky here because I don't want to look into this while filming because I don't know exactly what the issue is, so it'll take me some time to figure that out, but putter, we'll just do that. How do I get a mutable capture here? Like, what? Anyways, now we should be able to make proxy actions. So, oh, frick. This is still not, oh. I didn't think this through. I still want to have a custom lambda for each one. Because, damn it. This is the part that I want to do differently for each one. Okay, so I guess make proxy action is still useful because then I don't have to call like a specific make cut action, make copy action, make paste action, and so on. But I'm gonna have to say okay, let's do it that way. Let's do it the old way that I had in mind. This was the original idea was the was the best one. Okay, should have just gone with this. So we are going with it. And of course, these undo actions are just duds at the moment. But one day we will implement undo and redo. And then the editor will really feel useful, because right now undo and redo is like, it's very obvious that they're missing. Then we get rid of this guy and say bye-bye, make proxy action. Maybe we'll see you again someday. So where else do we use gtext editor? Let's see, on cursor change, right. So we should really set this up in each new editor. Add new editor, right. So we'll do these callbacks, editor. Of course, we need the status bar here, so status bar. We just want them. Okay, wait, hold on. Let me do it this way. Okay, and I don't know what I'm trying to write here. This is supposed to go in the lambda. Okay. Okay, are we good? Are we good? Are we good? So now we just have to make sure we pass on the status bar when we create this. And it doesn't exist yet, so we'll go until after we've created the status bar. But where do we actually add the rest of the stuff? Here we add stuff to the inner splitter. Oh, all right, so maybe we need to make sure the status bar is good to go. So let's do that right after we make the outer splitter. Okay, so now we have access to the status bar. And we can call add new editor. And I lost it because, okay. Try that one more time. Here. Status bar, we're good. Okay, and then let's add a second editor and see how this goes. Current editor dot. We have to just make sure that we use current editor everywhere. It's a little bit of flailing around right now, but we're just updating all of these. Okay. All right, well, this is clearly two editors, and we can copy paste in between them depending on which one has focus. That's all good. Paste does not work correctly. Oh, because the current editor does not switch just because I'm focusing a different one. So how do we do that? We want to, the current editor should point to the most recently focused editor. So we have a focus in event. We could just, we could have a callback whenever we got focus. We could say like, okay, well now this one is the most recently used editor, so it's the current editor. That might be the easiest way to do this. And I think subclassing is probably the most straightforward way here, so let's just subclass the text editor. We'll call it HS text editor. Okay. And we need HS text editor. G text editor. Okay. And now we can finally virtual void focus in event. Oopsie. And here we'll also just call up to the parent. Event. All right. And we can now say, hey, 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 I am the most recently used editor. So I guess we'll put these before. And then we'll just forward declare it, text editor. And when we get focus, we'll say s current editor is this. It's simple enough. Okay. So, oops. Paste. It still thinks this one is the current editor. Okay. Oh, right, because I don't actually construct HS text editor in add new editor. So we can get rid of that argument because we take care of that automatically. Okay, so foo. Paste, 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 paste. Paste, paste, paste. Okay, now we're talking. So now we can open files up here and down here. That's pretty neat. Although now it's kind of hard to see which one has focus. Wait, how do I know that in QCreator which one is focus? I guess I just see where the blinking is. It's not very obvious. You could probably draw like a little, I don't know, like a little focus rectangle or something somewhere around the editor, maybe. We'll think of something, but this is pretty cool. And it kind of makes me feel like I wish there would be a, like this thing has here, right? Like this little title bar that gives some context to where we are in each one of these. So let's add something like that. Let's add a little label in between these. So maybe when we add a new editor, maybe HS text editor should have some. I mean, it's nice that it's just a G-text editor. So we'll make a little wrapper around it. I think that's what we'll do. So widget construct parent, and then we'll put these in the wrapper. Can you do that? Well, that's not really what I want. Okay. What I want to do is wrapper set layout gbox layout no make gbox layout, because it's make for single owner things and construct for shared ownership things. That's a little bit confusing. And it would be nice if that would work differently, but I'm not entirely sure. Like, part of me wishes I could have like make shared, you know how or make ref counted maybe for ref counted things. But then the problem is that the make ref counted helper would need to be able to access the constructor of this type that it's constructing, which would necessitate making that public, which I don't want to do because it's very easy to cause leaks if you can access the constructor of a reference counted object in Serenity, because they need to be adopted before. I've talked about this many times, but it's an unfortunate situation. But anyways, let's just make progress. So let's add a vertical layout wrapper here, and then we'll put a little label in there. So label, and actually we're going to want to hang on to this thing. So maybe gtext editor, current editor should have current editor wrapper. We'll make the wrapper part of the whole thing here. So gtext editors. Maybe we don't need to keep track of the text editors at the moment. So let's worry less about that. Oh, hold on. Current editor wrapper is going to be my parent. So static cast HS text editor wrapper parent. And that better work. And oh crap, we don't know. We don't have the definition of this guy. Oh, but I mean the declaration, but we didn't make a declaration. So I guess we can just make one. Maybe it should be a G frame. let's put a G label in here. File name label and G text editor, no, HS text editor. Okay. And when we create one of these, how do we create one of these? I guess we'll just take a parent and then we'll figure out the rest. We can figure out the rest down here. Okay, and first we'll call up to the frame constructor. And then we want to HS text editor wrapper. We want to do all of this stuff in here instead. So maybe we can even move it all up here. So add new editor, we'll just make a new wrapper and set it to be the current wrapper. Seems like maybe we have to pass the status bar. I mean, this is really ugly. Let's just put the status bar here instead for now. Don't want to be passing it around like that. And okay. Add new editor. Okay, this is still a bit messy, but it's gonna make sense. So we'll say that the M file name label is a new label. And we have to include that. So lib GUI G label. This stuff is definitely going to have to move to its own classes. We're just going to prototype it here. And then here we can just not capture the status bar, and we'll say a status bar like that. And here we can just say this. Okay. And editor is actually going to be M editor. And then we don't have to care about that. We can just capture this. Which makes these lambdas are so much nicer when there's a this that you can capture, because it just takes all the headache out of worrying about the lifetime of whatever you're capturing. Because as long as this persists, then you can access its members, and it just makes lifetime management so much more straightforward. And we'll do that. We'll add an accessor for the editor, so HS text editor. And a const accessor as well, because why not? Okay. I guess we can assert this is a valid pointer. Okay, so now we have that label, and then when we open a file, we get the current editor, but we can also get the current editor wrapper. So we'll do that. And then this one becomes a little bit simpler. It's just current editor wrapper dot editor. Okay. And HS text editor wrapper. Right, and now when we open a file, we can change the file name in the editor wrapper so that current editor wrapper file name label set text file name. Factoring here is very goofy at the moment, but we're just prototyping, so don't worry. See that we get some kind of same behavior here. This is not what I wanted. So let's see, when we construct the wrapper, we do it here. Add new editor, we put the wrapper directly into the parent, and then we put the text editor into the wrapper. The file name label, why is it so modest? Hello? Oh shit, because we're not putting the label into this, which means that it's unparented and does not get any size. You gotta remember to parent your widgets, otherwise they're not gonna show up. Okay, so that's more like it. I mean, obviously this still looks kind of stupid, but now we can go ahead and give them some size. So we'll say file name label set preferred size. 20 is what I usually say for the height, and we'll just make sure that it fills horizontally and fixes vertically. Then I think we're also going to set text alignment to left, center left. Untitled, I don't know. We're gonna get, we shouldn't have untitled things, but at the moment I guess we might in this case. Okay, so now this is looking a lot more reasonable. Of course that looks a bit goofy because we don't actually fill in the widget, and then when you hover over a splitter here, then oh, this is so weird. Seems like maybe the splitter needs a little bit of help. But let's just make sure that we set a fill with background color true, because at least that should make it behave a little bit more consistently. Looks nice. Yeah, see now, if you grab here, then it doesn't show white behind the main CPP. I mean, this still looks awkward. So the splitter is definitely optimized for splitting only two things. It's possible to split more than two things, but as you can see, it highlights all of the grabbable areas, which is definitely a bug when you hover. But let's see, can we get this thing to... Wait, how do I make it go away? This doesn't work anymore? It definitely... It seems like it does not care that I'm trying to hard code this one out of the way. So I guess we broke that functionality somehow. But this stuff is cool. So you can see the file name changes. I should probably put it in bold. File name label set font. Default bold font. Okay, and then when I do the Control-Shift-X, I'm expecting these action tabs, as I call them, to go away by setting a preferred height of the tab widget to 0. Now, why doesn't that make it go away? Hiding tabs. Let's just say that we run the code. And actually, this also makes me realize that the status bar for the line numbers is not perfect, because like now we're switching between the editors and then we're switching which one we're showing. It would be cool to show it like here instead for each editor. And also, these don't have to be this tall, I think. And we could Okay, so how do I make these guys go away? Hiding tabs. Okay, so we're breaking this somehow, but that's probably in widget layout land, and I'm not going to debug that right now, so we're just going to leave that alone. But let's instead move the cursor information to here from down here. And then we could even, I'm thinking, should we get rid of the status bar? I don't know if that would make sense. I mean, there's not going to be anything in it, so maybe then we don't need it, but let's do one thing at a time. So here, when we set the status bar text, what we want to do instead is set the mCursor label, and we'll just add one of those here. Cursor label. And the cursor label is going to be right next to the other label. So we'll put those in a nested widget. So label wrapper is gwidget construct, parent to this, and label wrapper set layout, gbox layout, orientation horizontal. And then we're going to add the labels inside of the label wrapper. And for the second one, let's make these a little less tall. Let's say 16. And let's make sure that we do the same for the label wrapper. So label wrapper, dum dum dum. It would be nice if the wrapper could automatically size itself so it fits its children, but currently there's no mechanism for that. Anyways, here we're going to do the cursor label, and that one is not going to be bold, but it will fill with background color, or actually we can skip the fill with background color and just do it on the label wrapper. Okay, so we don't have to care about that down here. And then the label wrapper will be center right alignment. Okay, and I'll just say cursor. We'll see how this turns out. Oh, let's get rid of the status bar. So now we're not going to need you. That is very tasteful. Although I wish that these would be, they look a little off. They need to have a little bit of margin added to them, but it is very cool. Yeah, these guys need some help down here. They don't really work right. Tap, 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 tap. And then when we use this, yeah, right. So we can see that this is working right. But I don't like how these are so... We need to fix the alignment a little bit. Wait, what's going on when I tab? Okay. Something is definitely off right now because the tab thing was not working. Okay. Just some temporary PS2. I think there's some bug where like the mouse driver and the keyboard driver are arguing about who should take the input on the PS2 port. Need to look into that. But this is completely in the kernel somewhere, so it's not here. And obviously these changes are not synchronized, so that's something that we're gonna have to fix. But I think we're still off to a good start here. Maybe today will just be about the UI. Actually, we'll just get the UI in place, and then we can do more work on the architecture of like if you have the same file open in both editors, it should be synchronized, but currently it's not. We're gonna need architectural work for that. So what is it that I want to do next? I guess I want to fix up the alignment of these things because they look off. So let's fix that. And we're going to want to put these in separate classes actually. So let's start with that. DevTools, Hack Studio, HS Text Editor. We'll call it an HS Editor wrapper. And HS Editor. And then we can just call them that. Okay, meta. Let's put this into his own file. So here goes editor wrapper. Maybe this didn't need to be a G-frame, by the way. It would be fine to just be a widget. And we'll put this in HS Editor. And this, we're going to want to put this out of line. So we're going to need some more files. And we'll put those here. Maybe we don't need HS. We can just call them editor and editor wrapper. Okay, really fun editing going on right now. Okay, there we're good, and close all, and you are now a G widget, and we'll put you in your very own file. Editor wrapper. Okay, that's good. And the GUI G box layout. We're gonna need more things here. Let's just good to get this out into its own file. Otherwise, things are going to be so messy here. Incomplete type editor, right. And we'll have to, right, so we have to put this out of line. In editor CPP. This one will be, this is a little messy, but it's okay. We can say if on focus, make this a little bit easier to use. And then when it gets focused, we can just react that way. So in the editor wrapper, I'll always set this guy up. Editor set on focus. Current editor wrapper becomes this. And oh, we need some more headers here, I see. Action and input box. Okay, now we just got to make sure that the current editor wrapper is a global. Which means we just rename it to G underscore. Okay. And then we need to use that in editor wrapper. We just have to declare this as an extern. That's fine. Okay. So did we do everything right? No, we didn't. In editor, CPP. No, wait, where are we? Editor wrapper, H. This destructor. Oh, we can't. Let's put this out of line. Otherwise, we have to include more stuff here. G window. We don't have G window here. Right. But since this is a callback, and this is only going to happen when we are in the window, we can just do that. Okay. Wow, this was a bit hairy, but it always gets, I always feel like it gets a bit messy when I want to move stuff to their own classes suddenly, because then you take like your little prototype that you built somewhere and then you spread it out all over the place. But now it seems like we are back in business. And we can build and we can run. That's pretty neat. What if I edit this here to say something else? Hi, before we run. Missing separator. Yeah, well, I can't actually do a tab character here, I think. Well, I could copy this tab character and paste it and save it. And then it still doesn't like me. Well, that's a whole other type of problem. Because make files that require you to use a tab character, which is super irritating. Anyways, if we just delete that, and then we can run still. All right. What do I want to do? Oh, right, I wanted to do something about these guys. So let's commit what we have. Git add. I'm feeling very spicy, so we're just going to do a big bold commit for once. Support multiple editors on screen. We now put this patch adds editor, subclass of text editor, and editor wrapper. An editor wrapper is a bundle, a composite widget, or a bundle widget. I don't know what to call it, composite widget maybe. That adds a little status bar above an editor widget. It is used for showing the file name, current cursor position, more things can definitely be added. So to get to the currently active editor, call current editor. You can also get to the wrapper, current editor's wrapper, by calling current editor wrapper. Editor, which editor is current is determined. Which one was last focused by the user? Okay. So let's put some color, background color on these so we can see what's going on here. So let's fill this one with red and let's see, cursor label and cursor. Make this one green and we'll make this one blue, I think. I just want to see what they look like, you know, so that we can get some idea of what the rectangles are and how we can adjust them to get the effect that we want. Okay, so I guess it actually looks a lot more sensible than I thought it would. I guess it's the spacing here that gets added by the splitter that's causing it to look so chunky. In fact, maybe we should have a splitter within a splitter. Instead of using the three-way split here, we could put these into a splitter of their own and then put the two splitters, like this splitter here. This would be in a nested widget with a splitter. I think maybe that would work better. Because then we could, I'm not sure if I like that. Well, but let me get a screenshot because this was a bit weird. So, wait, how do I do this? Places. Come on, GIMP. Oh. Shots and this one. Let's take a looky here. So we can see that we got 3 pixels up top and 4 on the bottom. So it's actually centered. But here you can see that we have spacing below this label, but not above it, which is what makes it look so makes it look top aligned when we don't have this background fill. And here it probably looks more centered. So what would we want to do about that? I guess one thing we could do is we could just add some margin here at the top. So let's try doing that. And we'll get rid of all of that background color business. Set margins. I always forget how to set these. It's left, top, right, bottom. So 0, I don't know, 3 pixels, and then nothing else. Let's see how that works out. Well, we should just get like that little extra margin at the top to make it consistent with the others. Yeah, see, now it looks more centered. Of course, it still looks awkward here, but it's less awkward than before. Maybe we can make these a little bit smaller. 14, maybe. And we'll have them background, or no background fill. But this one up top should be background filled, just with warm gray natural default color instead of red. Wait, why does this look so weird now? Does it add the margin to the second one as well? I'm just tweaking the margin to see what the margin actually does, because I thought the margin would only apply to the outer part of the layout. But apparently I'm wrong about that. Well, shows what I know about my own layout system. So then we don't want that. We want that margin to be dead. And we want to, where do we add the editor wrapper? We put it inside the inner splitter. Well, why don't we give the inner splitter a little bit of extra margin? I don't know why this seems so important to me right now. I just wish that they would look consistent. Okay. Now this is starting to feel a lot more reasonable. Still a little off at the very top there. I feel like there's one row of pixels missing, but it is better. I like it. I like it. We should maybe have a little bit of margin on the left and right side of these guys to bring them, squeeze them in towards the middle a little bit. So we'll actually set a margin on this one, just a left and right margin. So set margins 3 or just maybe 2 pixels on left and right. Or no. My bad. This should be in the label wrapper layout, because we don't want to move the editor inside. We just want to move the labels, squeeze them in a little bit. Yeah, it's subtle, but it's a bit nicer. I like it. That's pretty awesome. Now, would be good if you could jump between these two without clicking, right? So in Q Creator is like Control E. I think you press like Control E2 to make a new one, Control E0 to close one. And Control, wait, how do I switch between them? I don't remember because now I'm saying it out loud. Control EI and Control EO, right? EI, EIO. Wait, what? Control EO, Control EI, Control EO. Yeah, it's really awkward. I just got used to it. But what if Control E would just jump between them? There would be no hassle. You would just switch editor with Control E. And then maybe I'll change my mind and make it more complicated later. But right now it seems so simple to just set that up. So let's just commit this layout tweaking. Tweak, editor, wrapper, to make pixels look aligned. Make pixels aligned. Yeah. Or it was not about alignment strictly. Make pixels nice. Make things look nice. So let's make an action for jumping to the next editor. Auto, no, not auto, auto. Switch to next editor. Switch to next editor. Mod control key E, and we'll just make a callback. If G, what was it called? Editor, current editor wrapper. Well, how do we find the next one? Now, this is the part where we're going to need a list of all of them. Non-null wrapper editor wrapper. Okay. Vector. Append wrapper. Okay. If there's only one, or none, well, we'll return, I guess. And then we just want to switch to the next one, so I guess we'll say for auto, or okay, right, I'm going to be lazy now because we just have two of them, and what would be the obvious way to do this? To just say for, I mean, an easy way would be to give them like previous and next pointers, but that's a bit cheesy. Do we have some auto wrapper in G all editor wrappers? If wrapper is G current editor wrapper, continue, otherwise current editor wrapper, otherwise we'll just focus the one that we want, I guess. So set focus true and return. So this is not perfect because it won't work when we add more editors, but I'm okay with this for now because I am running out of steam a little bit here and I just want to conclude on Nice note. So now we can switch between them with Control E. Lol. Yes. Very cool. Fix me. This this will only work for correctly when there are two editors. Make it work for any editor count. Hack Studio. Switching between two editors with Control E. This is very hackish and should be done differently, but the feature feels pretty nice and does work for now. All right. So I think I'm gonna be done with the video for today here. So if you made it this far, then I thank you for watching, for hanging out, and I hope you saw something interesting. So I ended up mostly doing the UI bit, right? Like, we didn't really do much architecture here, although we did some incidental architecture because of the UI. So it all synergizes, you know. But I'm pretty happy with the way things are looking now. So definitely something to continue building on. So thanks again for checking this out, for coming here and hanging out with me while I do this. And you're very welcome to visit on GitHub as well, obviously, if you are interested in working on this together with me, or if you just want to play with it or anything like that, then feel free. Other than that, I'm just going to say again, thank you so much for hanging out, you know, for commenting, liking, sharing, subscribing, all of those things that people do. The engagement since I started this series has been really fun, and people are obviously find this kind of interesting, and that's really fun. Fun. I said fun like 20 times, so hope you're having a fun day. I'll see you next time. Bye.